Hello viewers and welcome to part 19 of the Clueless Cat Does Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough as per requested by Twitch viewers. More bad monotone dialogue incoming now where we left off, returning to reconvene with the party after successful completion of Labyrinth of the Ancients. So good of you to join us, Amber. Our meeting would be dull indeed without a full account of your experiences in the Labyrinth. Take a moment to collect yourself, and when you are ready, we shall debate how best to proceed. For prosperity, Gratia is ready to address the assembled Fellowship of Noah. The Fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is time this assembly was called to order. Rambrose will be presiding over the meeting if you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. Welcome back, Amber. I have just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I have added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times should you have any questions you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. Money. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds, the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Amber's account, Labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allegan technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It was somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the Tower's secret should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work. The answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you? It would be my pleasure. And don't forget about us. It's like you said, Chief. We founded the Ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons, and that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. You wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll be doing nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Amber. I am well aware I shall ever be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We will need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allegan Empire. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the task at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Such a terrible miss. Yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy of the Allegan Empire left behind. My readings are correct. The energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. I believe the fates had conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a far greater destiny in mind for me. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Cid. Do not disappoint me. Syrcus Tower. Ambrose is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. Damn it, Noah. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Since it's been like a minute, yeah. Excellent, I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Syrcus Tower, the Allegans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Cid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we're at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talent shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friend. We share the selfsame goal. I am Une, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allegan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor. Une and Doga? Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I may be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, Graha? Just nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Allegan eye as well? The sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allegans, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain, those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alleg. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If this is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Syrcus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Amber, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. Okay. I shall join you, Amber, with Une and Dogga's knowledge along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion. I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. I break stuff. That's what I do. Learn to break stuff too, and you too will see progress. Progress, progress, progress. I'm breaking all of your stuff. Progress, progress, progress. Hello, Biggs and Wedge. Well, if it isn't Amber, eager to enter Syrcus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. Yep. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends for the students, you say? Excellent. I've been slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you just follow me, I'll take you to him. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Daga. They are scholars of ancient Allag sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your attires ought to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Syrcus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it, a man and a woman, respectant. Allegan royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells, what is this? What did you do? What are you? piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable, exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary, but rest assured I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I have been roaming this land of Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind, is that not so? Twould seem that the time for concealment has passed. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps. An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you the joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Mm-hmm. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Ambrose may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, what it is that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there, that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting to the pitiable state of affairs, our technologist made it his mission to restore Alleg to greatness. Ammon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father, you cannot mean Emperor Zondi. None other. As part of his experiments, Ammon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Unai and Daga. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Zondi. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Aye, Zonde returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Ammon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zonde turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again? Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zonde is very much alive. Within Syrcus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalman was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allegan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Aemon, now Emperor Zonde's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia laying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the Seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Zonde reawakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. 'Tis for no other purpose to put end to Zonde's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unai and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Zonde, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Amber, we are confident that we can end Zonde's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Amber? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Unai and Daga, living, breathing Allegans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Syrcus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Amber, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zonde himself. Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Syrcus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray, have patience. All will be revealed in due time. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thought. Syrcus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zonde himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. It's because the amount of... Q for Syrcus. Tower, go! The only thing to note for the first trash pack is not to stand in front of stuff, because the dragon and the 2 worms have a AoE in front of them that they do. Okay, for Skyla, be wary if you get a ball tethered to you. If it is purple, that means it's lightning. Bring it to one of these 3 lightning pillars. Generally, it goes left is A, middle is B, right is C. No one really pays attention to that. Just pick one that doesn't have 3 things lit up on it, or you're going to take damage when it explodes. If you get a white ball, that means you are about to be frozen into ice, and people that get the red balls or the fireballs have to run those balls into you in order to de-thaw you, or you're going to take constant damage. This tends to like targeting the healers. You also have these little staves on the side. They'll go around and do AoEs. They usually do donut AoEs. Some people will kill them, some people won't. It doesn't really matter, just stay out of them. More spawn anyway. The important thing is to get purple in the proper places, because if the battle goes on long enough and she casts a special move, it will potentially wipe your entire party. When she starts to cast Ancient Flare, stand in one of the water pools. This will practically negate any damage that you get. Water pools form when somebody that is frozen in ice gets defrosted. And that's pretty much it. Second trash pad, uneventful. Once again, stay away from the fronts. Also stay away from the middle because after you finish killing these 3 groups, a dragon spawns, drops down in the middle, and then it'll spawn a few more ads where you enter the arena. That's pretty much it. Now for this guy, if you are doing this in Duty Finder, you need only stay out of the AoEs and spank and tank, and stay away from the front of him. If you are doing this with restrictions, when he spawns those little bits, someone needs to go stand next to them to intercept that line so that it doesn't reach the boss, and then the bits need to be killed. Also, you need to kill absolutely all ads. During a point, he will go into something that is known as intermission phase, which he will return to the very middle of the platform. If you are standing on the platform when he casts this thing, you will be dead at the end of it. Team A takes the left pathways, Team B takes the middle, and Team C takes the right, as usual. The things that you see, the teleportation pads on all these little mini arenas, platforms on around the middle there, it's a one-way only, so what you have to do is you have to hop from platform to platform, killing ads. If you are doing this in Group Finder, you get to completely cancel that. You never see that phase at all. And then you return back and finish them off, and that's it. For this next phase, the only thing you really have to watch out is if you have a green thing above your head, move away from everyone else because the dragon is going to target you and do a fire run from where he is to you. He will do this for as long as he is up in the air, generally only twice. Other than that, ads are pretty much full spank and tank. Now we have the second boss, Amon. Absolutely make sure to not be in front of him unless you are the main tank. He'll also do a AoE spell around him, which also inflicts heavy. He'll randomly throw a lightning underneath somebody, just move out of that, or you're going to get an electrocution dot. There is an arena-wide AoE that he does, but it doesn't do a whole lot. These ads here, the little green slimes, make sure to kill them, because if any of them reach the boss, people in your party are going to get silenced, which will suck if they're the healers. Now, out come the cum-cums. Yes, the jokes have already been made about this. People with a purple mark above their head will get a ball that if it touches anybody, it will mini them. So they have to mini the cum-cums. The second set of ads is going to come, more green slime. Then we're going to do more minis. Just kite these second groups of minis around until the snakes appear and make sure they hit the snakes. During this time, he will start to freeze players and frog others. The frogs need to run away from the snakes because the snakes are after the frogs. The frogs can also do a fire attack which will break this first wave of ice. Try not to break the ice. You need to hide behind that when curtain call comes, or it's anyone that is not hiding behind ice is going to die. If you're a healer, keep out for a bomb debuff on players during some time, because that will cause detonations and knockbacks, which can screw your party over if they're not paying attention. Other than that, tank and spank. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. Absolute darkness draws nigh, soon it will be unleashed, and all shall return to nothingness. So for this guy, just watch out for his AoEs. They'll appear as large circles, just move out of them. You will spawn these golden orbs all around eventually. One person needs to stand in each of them. This will negate the majority of the damage that they will do to the entire raid. Instead, we'll just do a small amount of damage to anyone standing in them. You will do small little bits of AoEs by slamming his fist into the ground near him. After a certain amount of HP is knocked off, he heads to the throne to sit down because he's bored, and you have to kill these meteors. There's little meteor stonefall circles all around the outer edge, and then there's a larger one in the middle. Once you finish killing all these off, he will return back to the platform. During this, 3 people are going to have a marker to stack on them. Make sure you stack with them because that will take away some of the damage that gets done. Stay in these circles because immediately after he Kuegas, and anyone not in the circle will take massive, potentially death-dealing damage. After that, he'll randomly cast AoEs below anyone. If you guys all stay stacked, then you'll know where they are. But most people spread for this. Then after that, it's a rinse and repeat until he dies. Amber. You did it! You defeated Emperor Zondi! Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for, Amber. With Emperor Zondi now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you hadn't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on, finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Syrcus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. That distortion, what is it? The power that Zonde sought to obtain comes from the void, the world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Zonde entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. That covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Une and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Zonde sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga, finally we may fulfill our purpose. Ha 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 ha. Oh, be still my beating heart. For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? The covenant is everlasting. And so Mercidia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allegan rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows even more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. Well then. Amber, pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Ah, not now. Damn it. Nero, were they part of your grand plan, too? Savior Japes, Garland, I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them, a void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Doga. Confound it, without them there's no way to master the darkness. That power is mine. Nero! The covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Damn it, the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the Find and consult Rambros. All this happened within the tower? Gods preserve. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate, of this I am certain. There exists myriad kinds of void sent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. 'Twould seem that Xande sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void scent is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. Though void scent can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Daga and Yunai. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them to fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Xande's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. 'Tis our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Unai and Daga, you have not quite been yourself. Tell me true, is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alec. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it. I'm with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Unai and Daga. I, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it. Though we have known them but briefly, Daga and Unai are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you are all patient. When dealing with a void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray, rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Amber. Mark my words. Okay. The world of darkness. Rambros has a furrowed brow and the look of one with ill tidings. Ah, Amber, it is good you are come. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us, nor for Unai and Daga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm. Think back upon our last foray into Syrcus Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Xande, but you, Amber, you assured he was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void scent known as the Cloud of Darkness. Even as Daga and Unai labored to annul this contract, the entity reached through a rift and dragged the pair of them and Nero out of our realm. Since that day, Noah has devoted itself to rescuing Unai, Daga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, is exposed to a far more dire problem. The Crystal Tower still acts upon Emperor Xande's orders and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place nigh hums with energy. We have done all we can to stop the Imperial Edict, but to no avail. Just as the gate would open only for Unai and Daga, so too will the tower heed only those with the royal blood of Alec. 'Tis a most galling design. Granted, this was not always so vexatious, according to the Allegan tombstone Nero presented us. During the golden age of Alec, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such a technology, Aemon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower. But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we wait, a vast rift through which the clouded darkness can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a disaster cannot be allowed to come to pass. We must seal the Crystal Tower and annul Zonde's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the latter would suffice, and then what of the energy building in the Crystal Tower? Without suppression, that power could discharge and cause a calamity like to the one that destroyed Alec. In truth, we have more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat. Okay. We know but one way out of this predicament. Rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true we cannot stop the Void Gate from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Syrcus's power for our own purposes and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. We have heard this is possible from a man of the Thermitur's Guild, well versed in otherworldly matters, and with Master Garland working to create the said portal, the final preparations are well underway. Ah, here comes the man himself. Amber, just the woman we need. Yes, your fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy. And you, Master Garland, how fare your endeavors? Quite well, the device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Syrcus Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got, but it should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides. And do hurry, Amber. I'm sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? Okay. Well, Sid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Should we make our way to the Crystal Tower? Okay. Amber, I'll bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, eh? We're almost ready. Syrcus Tower is full of engineers scurrying around and making adjustments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But it should be fine, really. Anyway, you'd best wait at the top. The chief's there overseeing the whole operation. My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal. Then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Okay. Is there something amiss, Graha? Ah, Emperor Zonde's throne. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alig's art and power, now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Allegan's civilization had lived on and a just emperor still sat on that throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we have advanced? Unfortunately, there was no stopping Zonde in his ambition. There were those who tried. Zonde's War of Dominion left no one unscathed, unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people. Warriors young and brave took up the sword against Alig. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alig's heart for the kill, Zonde lashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Zonde desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness's coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalmud be emptied into Syrcus Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Syrcus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it had once stood. The fourth umbral calamity. I've learned of its cause from Une and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Zonde to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding, Graha. Why, a man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Probably your eyeball. Yes? Ah, Biggs. Are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. We reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of the Agrius. So just give us the word and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good, then let's get started. Our preparations are complete. Everyone, step away from the throne. Alright, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. Ah, a rift to the world of darkness, as Une called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out the mead just yet. The toughest part's still ahead. We've broken into the dark realm, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the void gate stays open. As will the sons of Saint Konak. This rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we are all truly lost. Which leaves Amber. My friend, 'tis a heavy burden I must task you with, but there are none more able. Pray, lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades, but you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. Yeah, again. Okay, cool. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Okay. I have a moment of your time, Amber. There is a matter of import we must needs discuss ere you leave. Dude, it's not staying open forever. Open up a void gate, casually walk away. Amber, I wish to speak to you about my eye. As you are no doubt aware, 'tis a trait seen only amongst Allegan royalty. Long I have pondered why such is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted, but what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow meeting those two clones has wrought great change in me. I am consumed with remembering something. Something ancient, but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind, the selfsame ones his father told him. The truth of our eye rests with Alec. Mayhap what I wish to remember and these words are related, mayhap not. But I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end with mine own two eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. Okay. You have my thanks, friend. Now let us venture into the world of darkness to save our comrades and our realm. Boop. Okay, for this trash pat, each tank should be picking up one of the Garm as they have an interruptible thing AoE attack that needs to be interrupted. Because either it'll stun people or it'll freeze people, and that'll kind of suck. Also, if they stay alive too long, there's going to be 3 giant circles where only the outer parts and the very middle is going to be unaffected. After you kill the Garms, the circles will go away, don't worry. And more ads are going to spawn that are going to need to be picked up, but nothing special about that second batch. Aside from the dragon, so just stay away from the usual dragon spots, the butt and the head. Okay, first attack for him you should be watching out for is he's going to turn the entire arena into 2 shades of colors. The half of the arena in front of him will be the bluish white, behind him will be red. This will give you a stack of something. Make sure to alternate which one you get hit by when you see it, so don't be too far away from him just in case you need to run to the other side of him. If you get 2 stacks of this something, you're going to get hurt for 2,500 damage. 3 stacks, you're dead. If you see someone being tethered to a circle, that person cannot move. Get out of the circle, because if you guys don't, not only will you die, they'll die. After a while, hourglasses are going to pop up. You need to kill all 4 of them. During this time, this little roulette will eventually stop when all 4 of them are dead, and anyone in that area is pretty much going to get 1 shot. Make sure to face the hourglass, because he does this eyeball thing that if you are looking at him when he does it, you are going to get a doom buff. You need to step on a glowing pad in order to dispel it. After the hourglasses are done and he does his little attack, 2 ads are going to spawn. You're going to want to prioritize killing those down because they can do damage to the entire raid. In which case, after that, it's pretty much, well, a rinse and repeat. One thing I must be of note is not to stand in front of him, as he will constantly blast a line AoE directly in front of him that you want to only hit the main tank. So please, if you see another tank has it, don't be a jerk and start spinning him by playing who can set their taunt off first. Other than that, that's all there is to it. This trash pack comes in 2 spots. The first one is a Queen Scylla clone. The next one is a Zonde clone. Each one has a long cast bar that must be interrupted, and each one will do 3 forbidden gates on both sides of them. Those can be shot down. Try to save your limit break for your ranged ones, because they can do lines, and save it for the second one. If you do not kill those things in time, they will spawn minions that you will also have to deal with. After the first kind of mini trash is done, open the chest, will spawn the second one. Please prioritize killing the middle of the gate for the second one, as it will spawn a bigger, tougher ad. Now the plus side about this dragon is you do not need to worry about it doing anything with its tail, so it's perfectly fine to stand behind. That being said, stay away from its front. It does a bunch of AoEs, you just need to move out of them. If it does a red circle AoE, that means it's about to spawn an ad that will tether and hunt something, which will consistently do damage. You're going to want to make sure that you run by another player if you have that on you, so that it tethers off of you onto them and you just kind of pass it back and forth. There will be a stack marker a few times. Make sure to stack with everyone, or there'll be major ouch damage. Less damage the more people are stacked. When enough damage is done, it will do disordinance, and all of its heads will become attackable. Just run to it and start doing AoEs. Break all the heads and you'll be fine. If you see these 2 black circles appear on the ground, get out of them. They will spawn ads. You need to kill the ads. And sometimes there will be a slime puddle on the ground. If that happens, someone needs to stand in the middle of the slime puddle and attack the slime ad. When the slime ad explodes, it negates all damage of slime poison to that person. And that person can safely stay in the middle of that slime puddle. Staying in that slime puddle will ensure that no further ads can spawn until the puddle can go away. It will do these 2 white things on the ground, as well as a orange thing above somebody's head. Stay away from that person with the orange thing above their head, because he'll cast a breath on them, which will throw them up in the air, and those circles will expand into be very large circles of ice that anyone touches them will freeze. Other than that, it's rinse and repeat of those mechanics. So for this next trash pat, you split into your groups A, B, and C. Take left, middle, and right pads respectively. You just have to keep killing it until it falls completely. It'll randomly target someone to suck in. That person can either jump off the pad or get sucked in. Everyone else stay away from that person, or you'll get sucked in too. When he finishes sucking in, he's going to turn around random spot and spit them all out. If you see a glowing pad on your platform, make sure to step on it. That makes sure that the people on the other platforms, if they get knocked off, can get back on to attack the boss. Eventually, after the first suck in and knock back, it will do 2 shockwaves. Make sure to stand as close to the boss as possible, mini boss as possible, or you're going to get knocked off the platform. Stay away from the disc spinning around too, because it will give you, it'll lower your resistances to getting hurt. You can pretty much will ignore the ad. And that's pretty much it for that one. When it's done, continue on to the boss. Now we have Syrcus. One thing of note is absolutely stay away from its tail, because if there's people behind it, it will whack its tail and it'll be a knockback to everyone and put a stack on you, which will have you take increased damage. After a little bit, it'll break its chains. When it breaks its chains, it's going to put 2 things on 2 people. The first one that drops is going to be something that if you stand in it, it minis. Now let me give you a little rundown on the groups. A is for ads. From the darker purple thing, wolfbanes will appear. You need to focus on that. B is in belly. They need to be shrunk by the gastric juice and then run into the rough purple patch. Fun fact, when you're in the belly, if your music is on, the music will actually quiet when you're in the belly. Don't ask me where you come out, we don't talk about that. When Group B is in the belly, you're going to want to kill absolutely everything you can find in there in order to be washed out. Group C, that tank should be what tanks Cerberus. They will have to get the chains once he slumps down. They will have to refetter him. If not, he pretty much will enrages and he's going to raffle stomp your entire party no matter what you do. There's also something called Ulation that he will do later on. This will do orbs. They burst back and forth in a line. Just stay out of them. And if you see that thing above your head, you need to stack with other people, because if you don't, you guys are going to get feared and run away randomly. Other than that, it's a rinse and repeat. I don't think he does the belly thing twice, so that'll be fine. Who disturbs the gloom? Ah, mortals from the realm of light, you have not stumbled here without purpose. I am the cloud of darkness. What I do not smother, I devour. What I cannot devour, I destroy. The covenant is everlasting. All mortals before the flood of darkness will sink lifeless into the void. Her first major move is you're going to see an AoE target somebody. They're going to have arrows following them. That means that whatever is going to happen is going to start chasing them. That person needs to stay away from the group and keep moving, or they're going to die. And if they run towards the group, they'll kill the group. If she disappears, she's going to randomly appear somewhere else. Make sure to go to the sides because she'll do this massive beam through the middle in a line AoE, and you don't want to get caught by that because it'll give you a debuff stack that increases your vulnerability. She will cast these little meteor things a couple times. Just one person stand in each of them just to soak it up to make sure it doesn't do damage to everyone. Sometimes that chasing stack marker will happen again. And after enough damage is done, she will stop and start sucking in clouds. You need to kill those clouds before they reach her. If you have some form of attack that is instant, such as your range DPS, they should definitely focus on that. For the larger ones, it will take a little bit more to get them down. You can stand in front of them, which will inflict heavy upon them and cause them to move substantially slower. This can be done for the smaller ones as well, but the smaller ones usually go down pretty quickly. She will continue to do meteors during this time. After a certain amount of time has elapsed, she will do small damage to the entire raid and disappear. Then your group needs to split up. There will be 3 ads on the stage. You need to kill all the ads in order to continue on. The ads will erect barriers between them, so make sure you guys are evenly spread, as you cannot help kill another ad in a different barrier. After that, she'll reappear, and it's a rinse and repeat of previous mechanics. This is generally the time when people start doing their limit breaks to take her down, and that's it for her. She's pretty easy. Where in the 7 hells are they? Without them to stem the energy in the tower, defeat of the cloud aids our cause little. Doga, Unai, can you hear me? Nero. Must you be so infernally loud? Are you so keen to attract more void scent? Though I don't blame you for missing my company. Think the 12, are you alright? As alright as can be expected, Unai has simply passed out. Nero, by the gods, what's happened to you? Alas, his wounds were too deep and allowed this foul place entry to his body. Now the darkness claws at the ether of his very form. Would that we could have protected him. The cloud of darkness was bound by Xande's unholy covenant to bring prosperity to Allegan royalty. The same blood that sealed this contract gives us a measure of protection. I say a measure, for this vow does not protect us from other voids sent. The cloud imprisoned us here precisely to unleash fiends upon us. We would be dead had Nero not defended us so valiantly. Mistake not my actions for kindness. I have use for you yet in Eorzea, and simply couldn't let harm befall you here. Where? Unai, you are safe. Our friends have come for us. Have they? Then perhaps, Doga, there is yet hope we may fulfill our purpose. Mortals, you have dared to challenge me and must now feel my wrath. Did you think to destroy me in my realm? Here, I am eternal. I will smother your light and entomb your bones amongst my shadows. Are we truly so powerless here? As long as we fight the cloud in this realm, I fear so. And yet, though we may not be able to destroy it, this may be our chance to stop it. If we strike now, whilst the cloud can barely hold her form, mayhap we can sever Xande's covenant. Yes, and raise the bridge between the crystal tower and this foul place once and for all. Amber, Graha, you must flee. You and Doga mean to stay here? 'Tis madness. You must return with us. No one but you can save the world from the threat of the crystal tower. What is this trickery? Your blood. You too gain protection from Xande's blood. Grahatia, you are possessed of royal blood. That is why the royal eye runs in your line. 'Tis a gift you have inherited. Graha, you have been granted authority over the crystal tower. I had thought time would consume all of that a man should still live with his forebears' blood in this age can be no coincidence. Some person must have planted this gift in your line and used the highest of Allegan technology to do so. True, the Crystal Tower is not like to recognize you as Allegan, not as you are now, but your royal eye bespeaks a simple truth. Within you dwells one feeble glitter that will illuminate all the light of hope. But how should I use this light? Pray, tell me. You must gain control of the Crystal Tower. We share our blood with you, Graha. Through its effects will be but ephemeral, it will bolster the Allegan presence within you. This is our gift to you, that you may fulfill your destiny. All with the royal eye are bound by fate to Alleg. Our part in this journey is to bury Xande's dark ambitions in the past. This was the true Unai and Daga's purpose, one we have carried into the future. Know that as long as this light of hope survives in you, our souls will still remain, even if our bodies are lost. You must leave us as well, Nero. I am sorry we could not live up to your expectations. I must return to you what is yours, though. You dropped it whilst defending us. What you seek by this instrument may not be possible, Nero, but do not give up. There are many other paths that wait you. Of course they do. Dogai, Unai, I thank you. We shall never forget you. Now, Amber, Nero, let us quit this place. You shall not escape me, impudent children of light. No, you shall not escape us. Here Xande's blood-stained dreams of glory end. There, the glint of light. It grows faint, then the bridge between realms grows fragile by the Covenant's annulment. If that light dies, we are stranded here. Hurry. Nero, no, you must move. Leave me. I don't need you. If I die here, it'll be because I bloody well decided to. I failed to master darkness. I'll not suffer watching a green boy master the tower. Do what you will with it, but remember me, son of Alleg. I am Nerotal Sceva, the man who will yet outdo Alleg and Garland. That was what you hoped to? May the Crystal Tower again be a beacon of hope for mankind. Go, damn you! Must move onwards. This is not where I come to rest. But how did... So those damn clones did it after all. Now, onwards. Ah! You owe me, Nero. The look on his face. The hells I do. You returned unharmed, thank the gods. When the void gate started to close, I had never felt so powerless in all my life. We were running around like madmen trying to keep the gate open, and then the chief actually went and dived in, but if you're all set... Where are Una and Daga? They're not... I see. I will miss the two of them dearly, but I am happy they fulfilled their purpose. We who live on must still attend to the Crystal Tower, though we now have no one able to seal it. That is not true, my friend. Unai and Daga have entrusted me with their blood. I can now control the Crystal Tower. Graha, yes, I can see it in your eyes. Good. Then let us put an end to this and seal away the tower. I understand your instinct, Rambros, but please give us a moment to rest. I am weary to the bone, and Nero and Amber are both emerged from long battle. Of course, you have the right of it. Come, we shall leave this place for a spell and repair to St. Conach's Find. No one but you could have succeeded in the world of darkness, Amber. Would that I could have been of more use beyond the rift. As it stands, I was but a vessel for Daga and Unai's blood. Have I remembered what I wish to do? Yes, something has come back to me. Gaining royal blood and witnessing true bravery has reminded me of my forebear's dearest wish. But we need not speak of these things now. It was not my place to keep you. Pray, go on ahead of me. There is something small I would do before I return. Okay. I could not have asked for a better comrade. If only I could have been a part of your adventures for longer, Amber. Alas, fate dictates I have a different role to play. A wish hidden for millennia and brought to light by the good people of Noah. Now, finally, 'tis my time to see it realized. I cannot express how glad I am you returned safely, Amber, and with the means to dispel the threat of the Crystal Tower for good. Rest if you will, and then let us free ourselves from the spectre of the Alligans. The light of hope. With a look of finality upon him, Rambros seems intent upon sealing the Crystal Tower once and for all. I trust you have rested, my friend. Good. I wish to seal the tower now, but there is something we must do first. Let me summon the others and hear in full what happened beyond the rift. So the Allegheny that runs in Graha's line does mean that royal blood flows in his veins. I suppose it is not so odd to think his forebears gained it via ancient technology. But who imbued his family with the blood, and for what purpose? Mayhap all this was fate, from discovering the tower to Graha gaining Unai and Daga's blood. Has Graha said anything? For that matter, where is Graha, and what of Nero? I'm not sure about our resident historian, but Nero left the tower with me. Where he's vanished to since, I cannot say. But knowing him as I do, I don't believe he'll scheme against us for the time being, though he is still Nero. Amber, you say Graha stayed behind at the Crystal Tower? I wonder if he even now prepares to seal the place off. Master Rambros! Master Rambros! 'Tis Graha, sir. He came into the Crystal Tower and began ordering researchers out. What? Why would he do such a thing? I do not know, sir, but he was quite insistent. He all but bodily forced me out of the gates. I suppose it's possible he told one of the others, but I wasted no time in finding out. I thought it best to hasten here and ask your guidance. Very well, let us go and speak with these researchers and get to the bottom of this queer business. Master Garland, Amber, please come with me. No doubt Graha means to seal off the Crystal Tower, but it worries me that he did not breathe a word of this plan to us. What in the world was Graha thinking, demanding we leave the tower? No doubt you want to know why? I wish I knew that myself. Of course, he would tell me nothing, but he will be honest with you, miss. I am certain of it. Go no further, my friends. The doors will close ere long. So you are of a mind to seal the tower, Graha. I know time is of the essence, but all I ask is a hint of your plan. Please come here so we can discuss this. No, my apologies, but I cannot. Come, man, what is this nonsense? If aught is amiss, surely we can help. Not this time, my friend. Just as Unai and Daga fulfilled their destiny, so too must I fulfill mine. My blood has awakened me to this fact. As my father told me, the truth has always lain with Alec. Or rather, 'twas there the wish I must grant was born. You see, not all the world perished in Zonde's calamity. Survivors stood amidst the ruins of Alig, looking to the Crystal Tower, but it was nowhere to be seen. Yet, they hoped its spires would again dominate the land, and prayed that the Crystal Tower would be a beacon of hope to people everywhere. Word of this soon reached the only member of Alig's royalty to outlive the Empire, the Princess Selena. Selena was moved by the people's dearest wish. She used the very best of Alec's technology to give her bloodline and memories to he whom she trusted most. That man was my forebear. For millennia we waited. Alec's art and ingenuity faded. Our royal blood grew thin. But before the last drop could vanish from the realm, the memory of all this returned to me. And now I must fulfill the wish of the ancients. The tower will shine forth as a new beacon of hope. Graha, the Crystal Tower's strength poses too great a threat to Eorzea now. We would need technology as advanced as Alec's to use it correctly. As things stand, we barely understand the tower's workings. Else, we may never fully comprehend them. 'Tis as you say, Sid. We could wait for someone someday to reach the same heights as Alig, but by then we'll have lost the royal blood and the means to control the tower. But what if I do as Aemon did and put the tower into a deep sleep? What? You cannot mean that. I am deadly serious, Cid. The tower may only be used once men rival the Alligans in knowledge. I will slumber within Syrcus Tower until then, to greet those with the means to open the gates. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as the beacon of hope it was meant to be. 'Tis the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. The future is where my destiny awaits. But yours lies outside of these doors. Go, create a future where hope reigns, and the tragedies of the past are but memories. No one but you can accomplish such things. Nothing we say will make you change your mind, will it? Onwards to a brighter future. It won't be easy, of course, but that's exactly why we'll do it. We'll catch up with Alec, just you wait. We'll cover all the lost ground before you even know it. Well said, Wedge. It'll only be a few years before we come knocking, Graha. Then you're in for a rude awakening. You shall be witness to Noah's accomplishments. Pray, keep alive our successes, and forgive us our failures. And may we meet again, my friend. The 12 keep you till then, Rambros. I look forward to learning of your exploits, and you, Amber, I know history will remember you. No doubt your heroism will be the star by which I chart my course when I awake. Okay. Well, now I must rest. Recalling so much has put me in the mood for sleep. Farewell, my friends. I eagerly await a future born of your courage and the ancients' wish. The crystal tower slumbers again, then 'tis too quiet for my taste. Goodbye, Cid. I must put all this at my back. Possibility beckons, and I am bound to follow. A new dawn has come for me. Bye-bye, Graha. You've just missed Sid, Amber. There is much that needs his attention if he's to fulfill Graha's wishes, it seems. But this is not the end of Noah, no matter how lonely St. Connex's find has become for our friend's departure. We must all walk in different directions now. Remember that we labor for a brighter future, lit by Graha's beacon. Sealing the tower was but the first step. I don't know, we'll see. Farewell, my friend. May our paths cross again. You finished. You can now continue on with the damn story. A time to every purpose. While others look forward to the impending royal banquet, Minfili cannot help but look to the past. Though recent events weigh heavily upon our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. We are come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbor to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Dravanians and Asians both. Against desperate odds, we have fought and won. But the primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation, and our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were brought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend Monbrita. This is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all of our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to present a united front that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. Yep. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Ul'dah that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tataru and lamenting a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. Okay. Off to the big soiree, Amber? Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lass. Something on your mind? By the Navigator, Wilred's dead? Gods damn it, they must know they've been rumbled. I mean, sod it. 'Tis past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had to dig around, on the quiet, and sure enough, I found it. Seems a fair bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffers courtesy of a Dodo Consortium. A daft name for business if ever I heard one, which is what first gave me an inkling that something weren't right. So I went through the ledgers again and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for amateurs we are. Short of calling one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium, I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. The gods only know how many men of the first and third are taken to Leggie's coin, but now we know as some of them are, I'd wager me right eye they're the ones what did for Wilred. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions, bound to attract attention he was, should have seen it at the time, but I didn't, gods damn me. Still, I don't see what Taleji hopes to accomplish. He hit his scheme with all the care of a drunk pissin' into the wind. No, he's cleverer than this, so we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that you have my word. And Amber, mind yourself when you're in Ulda, eh? We're heading into a storm, I can smell it. The kind what'll sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. Okay. We have been waiting for you, Amber. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I just hope we might make our introductions together, but Mistress Momodi just sent word that you are needed at the quicksand. Come, but not gone. A hero must go where she is needed, and according to Minfilla, you are needed elsewhere. We will go on ahead, Amber. Pray, join us once matters at the quicksand are resolved. Okay. Give my regards to Momodi, and let her know that I will call upon her anon. I appreciate you dropping on such short notice, Amber. I know you've got places to be, so I won't waste your time. You're friends with a crystal brave by the name of Alian, aren't you? Former adventurer? Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came round for a meal not long ago, and before she left, she asked me to give you a message. Said if the others ended up dragging you to the feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of the Coffer and Coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I'll grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart, but something tells me she ain't planning to ask your thoughts on a gentleman caller. As you stand upon the platform, your thoughts begin to wander, and all too soon the ghosts of comrades lost and enemies slain begin to file by your mind's eye in solemn procession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon, but see no signs of Alion. Straining ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Kakirin and the buzzing of Sylphrids, but no approaching footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice the vial laying at your feet. Amber, is that you? What brings you out this way? Lieutenant Alian? Why no, I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guarantee we would have crossed paths. I must have passed this spot a dozen times. We're to patrol the city's environs on account of the royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand. Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? You should be with the other honored guests, enjoying your well-deserved respite. Aye, pray return to Ulda, Amber. If I chance to meet the lieutenant, I will tell her you were here. Okay.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line. Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
I reckon you'd head straight to the feast after meeting with Alianne. What's the matter? No appetite? Oh, yeah, no appetite? No, I found a vial. So she wasn't there, but this was, huh? Let's see. Looks to me like an alchemist file, but beyond that I can't say. Might be best if you hold on to it for safekeeping, though. Any road, no use worrying about Alianne. I'm sure she'll turn up before too long, and when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you've got more important things to think about. The parting glass. Judging by Momodi's grin, your star could not rise any higher. Would you believe that while you were away, another message arrived for you? Well, one did. One delivered by the Sultan's handmaiden, no less. Seems Her Grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you at the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chambers. So what are you waiting for? Go on then, go.
You needn't trouble yourself so. Your Grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your Grace is ready, I shall summon the Warrior of Light. I am.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty Warrior of Light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
She will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required her attention, but it did not sound serious.
Thank you for coming, Madame. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to Her Grace's chambers forthwith. Lots of cutscenes. Put time aside.
Enter. Your Grace, your guest has arrived. Pray, come in, and take your ease.
"'Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde.
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Such noble words, after the fact.
I had hoped to speak in the presence of Her Grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. "'Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one."
Very well.
Is aught amiss?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. You wished a word, Yu Hase?
You may go. Your Grace. You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. 'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. Much of my dread for the coming days has been quieted.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine? You did this!
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance. I hereby accuse you of regicide! Men, arrest this viper!
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
What is the meaning of this?
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away!
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Come, Lucia.
Whatever is going on in there? Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time.
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah, if you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers to a royal banquet and eject state visitors without her grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. As you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthus. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. Bring in the prisoner!
This woman stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamu Ul Namo and is suspected accessories to the crime. All members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
How very convenient.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
How dare you! After all we have done for Uldar!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Oh yes, I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces. Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands. Now that is truly ridiculous.
How do you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
This cannot be. Nanamu. Nanamu. No!
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say Her Grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
You would mark her from hell!
What?
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow syndicate members. You're one of them! You've been in league with the Scions all along!
You're next to scheming bastard!
Raban!
Seven hells!
Admiral, we must leave.
Ah!
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
Gilbert, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
You die! I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand. Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Very mad, bro. Thankfully not at us.
Ah, there you are.
Thancred! Where have you been?
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. 'Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share poor Nanamo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed, we may safely assume that our foe is thought to have the rising stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ulda. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papashan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Nanamo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
The rest of you go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
By yourself? I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Ida! Papalimo!
Couldn't they have just done that instead and ran with them?
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now! Find this tunnel of Thancred's.
Minfilia, we cannot linger!
Now look what you've done!
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn, the ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken!
Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalymo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida!
I was hoping you'd say that.
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
This way!
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I had hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
Leave us!
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance? Well, this is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
'Tis done! Forgive me, Mitra.
Farewell, Ophelia.
No! I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me. Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. Tis the only way.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others? Damn that man! Taleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Brave's mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway. Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard! I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favour. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Ul'dah, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were! Aye, and judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
I had thought to look out for Alize, but would appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
And who might you be, young sir?
Pippin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames. I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Uldar. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monetarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Alden's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Uldar that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation, but in the end, 'twas I who needed saving.
Them soldiers will keep searching for a while yet. Reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Uldar and get the lay of the land. Maybe provide a distraction if need be. You three wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. Alright, let's go. Yikes, what a place to leave off, but thanks for joining me for this installment of my Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. I hope it was enjoyable, aside from my poor job at voice acting. As always, feel free to give feedback in the comments below or just to say hi. I may not respond, but I do read all of my comments. Feel free to follow the links to my socials below and drop by Twitch to say hi there too. Tap that sub button if you want to see what I'm up to on YouTube, and as always, thanks for watching and I hope you all take care. See you guys for the next video. Until then, stay safe, and ciao.